Hello and welcome back. This video will be on how to compute a scatterplot using data from MyLab. So, and I'll just show you a quick place that you can practice as well. So in the study plan area on the left here, I'll click on progress, and it will have lots of questions for every section in the book. So here I'm going to come over to section 2.4 on scatterplots and correlation, and one of the questions is construct and analyze a scatterplot of paired data. So let's practice. What will come up will be a question, like a question on the homework, and so this question is looking at the heights of presidents and the opponents in the election. In election campaigns, seeing if there's a correlation, maybe taller presidents tend to beat their opponents, or vice versa, or if there's no correlation. So this icon over here on the left, that kind of looks like a table, will bring up the actual table for the data that's being displayed, and they're asking us which scatterplot, which of the 4 scatterplots is the correct one. So what I can do is, up here in the upper right hand corner, there will be a little icon that says click to copy table. And what I can do now is open this in StatCrunch, and it will open. Sometimes this happens, and I apologize. I'll need to open it again and see if this works this time. Yep. It will open a spreadsheet with all the data in here. If I widen the columns, we can see that we have the president's height and the opponent's height. So what I'll do is I'll come over here to the applets, and I'll look at correlation by eye. And if I want to see whether 2 variables are correlated, I have to tell them which 2 variables I want to look at. So we'll look at the data table, not randomly generated data, but data from the table. The x-axis will have as, say, the president's height, and the y-axis will have as the opponent's height. There are some other options, mostly corresponding to if we want to randomly generate data, but let's compute. And this is our scatterplot that we have. You can see that there's a few points along here in the bottom, and then a few points up above, and then we could use this to match this to the picture to answer a question. This will also let us try to guess the sample correlation, the R value for this. Now, this right here doesn't look like these are very, very correlated, so maybe it's pretty close to 0. So I could type in something like maybe 0.1, and I can check, and it says try a stronger correlation, meaning this should be closer to 1. So maybe it's 0.2, and I can check that. If I'm done guessing, I can have it show the correlation. So the correlation, the R value, is going to be 0.36. So this is one way to come up with the R value, is to do correlation by eye, and it allows you to guess the correlation here. Another way to do this, if I exit out of this, will be to come over here to Stat, to Summary Statistics, to Correlation. And now I have to tell the program what 2 variables I want to look at, and I will do president's height and opponent's height. I will have to shift click or control click to get both of them up there. There are some other options, but I won't select any of the other options for the moment, and I will just compute. And this says the correlation, so the R value is 0.36. So this just displays the R value without doing the scatterplot as well. Now, in the next video, I'll be talking about a p-value as well. So to very quickly talk about where to calculate the p-value, it's the same place. So we can come back to Stat, to Summary Statistics, and to Correlation. We'll need to select both president's height and the opponent's height. And then in our display, we can also select the 2-sided p-value. And the p-value is slightly different from the R value, but it is just another way of seeing whether or not things are correlated. When I compute this, it will not only show the original R value, but also the P value. And the p-value will tell you whether or not we can conclude that the data is linearly correlated or not.